Candy, you once told me something fascinating, that you grew up with 79 brothers and sisters.
In a manner of speaking, yes, that's true.
Welcome back to Slow English, everyone. Today we are doing something a little different. We're going to get to know Candy a bit better.
I'm ready for my interview, Ed.
An interview? I have so many questions. Like, where are the treats hidden?
All right, Candy, let's start there. 79 siblings, please explain.
Of course, I went to the same school for 13 years, from K through 12, and my entire grade had only 80 students.
Wow, so you all grew up together like one big family.
Exactly. It was like having 79 other siblings.
13 years with the same people? I see the same squirrel daily. It's awkward.
You mentioned K through 12. Can you explain that?
Certainly, it's a common American expression. It covers all of primary and secondary school. From kindergarten, around age 5, to 12th grade, around age 18.
That's very clear, thank you. So tell me a bit about your upbringing.
My upbringing, or the way I was raised, was heavily influenced by my father.
Oh, in what way?
Well, when he went to college, he majored in musical theater.
Musical theater? Does this mean Candy can sing?
That's surprising. So he loved singing and acting?
He did, but now he runs his own company. A very different field.
But he felt those skills were important?
Extremely. He wanted my sister and I to understand the importance of knowing how to speak and present.
So what did he do?
We all did musical theater for many years. We learned how to act, sing, dance, and speak in front of people.
This explains so much about her confidence.
How do you feel like that has shaped you today?
The word shaped is perfect here. It refers to how experiences influence who you become. And yes, I notice a real advantage from it.
An advantage in what sense?
A real strength in being able to stand in front of people and be relaxed.
And that's a skill for life, not just for a stage.
Precisely. It's useful in business. In one-on-one interviews, in any situation where you need to make a connection.
That's a great point. So on that topic, do you have any tips on how to relax before an interview or a presentation?
I do. One of the best ways to bring the tension down is comedy.
Comedy? So tell a joke?
Or just be able to make yourself laugh. There's an expression, if we're not laughing, we're crying. So it's better to laugh it off.
Laugh it off. A good phrasal verb to know. I usually just sleep it off.
That's good advice. Any other tips?
Yes, another one from my dad. It's about body language.
I'm listening.
Don't keep your hands closed or hidden. For example, don't cross your arms. You should leave them out and open.
Why is that?
Because it makes everybody relax. It is open body language. It's welcoming.
Like an invitation for a conversation.
Exactly. It shows you are relaxed and confident.
Open hands are an invitation for a belly rub. It's a universal signal.
It's true, body language says a lot. If I were interviewing you like this, with my arms crossed, it would feel closed.
It creates a barrier. When everyone is comfortable, the conversation flows.
And you lighten the mood, as they say.
Yes, to lighten the mood means to make a situation feel less serious or tense.
This is all fantastic advice, Candy. But your upbringing is just a start. I've heard rumors of more adventurous times.
Oh, and what rumors would those be?
Adventurous, Candy. This should be good.
Well, we will have to explore that right after our short break. So, Candy, you mentioned your upbringing made you disciplined and respectful.
That's correct. My parents did an incredible job. But I would add a small detail.
And what is that?
I'm far from domesticated.
Domesticated? Is she talking about me? Or herself? I am confused.
Far from domesticated? That's a strong statement. What do you mean by that?
The word domesticated usually refers to an animal that is tamed and kept by humans. It implies a lack of wildness. I mean that I can't seem to stay still.
So, adventure is a big part of your life?
It is. For example, when I was young, I ran off and joined a circus.
You did what?
A circus? With the big tents and clowns? I do not trust people with such large shoes.
Yes, I performed in the circus for a couple years.
I have so many questions. First, the phrasal verb ran off. Did your parents know about this?
To run off implies leaving a place suddenly and secretly. So, to answer your question, no.
Wow, Candy, how old were you?
I was introduced to it all when I was 18.
How does one get introduced to the circus?
It's a rather amusing story, actually. I taught a French girl how to salsa dance.
No way, you can salsa dance?
Candy can dance, and it's not the robot.
I did a terrible job as a teacher, I'm sure. But we had fun, and in return, she showed me what she liked to do.
And let me guess, she worked in the circus?
She was a trapeze artist from France. Her friends were all acrobats.
That's amazing, and you loved it?
I was fascinated. It was a whole new world.
So how did you go from being fascinated to actually joining?
Well, during my first year of college, I was sitting in class typing notes, and I had a moment of profound realization.
Which was?
I was so bored.
I have those moments all the time. Usually, they are followed by a nap.
So what did you do?
I closed my computer. I got up and I left the classroom.
Just like that, in the middle of a lecture?
Just like that, I took out my phone and I looked up circuses in the area.
You are kidding me.
Not at all. I found one and I drove there.
She just left. I completely support this decision.
And then what happened?
I auditioned later that day.
And
and I got cast.
That is one of the best stories I have ever heard.
So she's smart, precise, and a circus performer. Humans are very complicated.
So, what was your main role in the circus? What was your specialty?
My favorite thing was being an aerial acrobat.
An aerial acrobat. Can you describe that for us?
It means I would climb up high on the trapeze or the silks. Anything that hangs from the sky.
Swinging upside down, that sort of thing?
Exactly that. Swinging, grabbing people. It was quite a wild experience.
Grabbing people from the sky sounds fun. It's like fishing, but for humans.
Did you also learn other circus skills? Like juggling, for example?
We did do a lot of juggling, yes. And some handstands and other fun things.
How long were you a part of the circus?
I was a part of it for 4 years. Doing all kinds of crazy little shows.
4 years, that's a long time. Why did you stop?
Well, all things must come to an end. So I went to a different adventure.
So Candy, after 4 years in the circus, you decided to move on to a new adventure. What could possibly follow the circus?
Well, while I was in the circus, my family and I would go on vacation. We often went to the Dominican Republic.
That sounds lovely. What did you like about it?
We loved the people and the bachata dancing. I really loved to dance.
First the circus, now dancing. This interview is full of surprises.
So besides dancing, what else did you do there?
Next to the ocean, they had little boats for rent. I would try to take them out on the water.
So this is where you learned to sail?
Not exactly. I wasn't very good at first. I would flip them over constantly.
Flip them over? You mean capsize them?
Yes, the phrasal verb to flip over means to turn something upside down. The boat would be on top of me in the water.
Flipping over is also my specialty. Usually off the sofa during a nap.
But you kept trying?
Yes, for about 5 years. Every year we went, I just kept working on it.
That's a lot of dedication. So what happened next?
One day I was paddling on a lake, and I saw a beautiful sailboat passing by.
And you admired it from a distance?
No, I thought, I'm gonna talk to them. So I paddled over to their boat.
That is a very direct approach. My method is to look cute and wait.
You just paddled up to strangers on a boat? What did you say?
I said, hey, I love sailing. I want to come sail with you guys.
How did they react?
According to the story, their jaws dropped.
A great idiom, their jaws dropped? It means they were extremely surprised. I can't say I blame them.
Then one guy on the boat said, "What are you doing next week?"
Just like that?
I told him nothing, even though it was my birthday.
And what did he say?
He said, "Why don't you buy a ticket to Vermont? And we'll go sail up there."
From a complete stranger?
A complete stranger. So I bought the ticket.
This seems impulsive. I like it.
But you didn't go, did you? I remember this part of the story.
Correct. Unfortunately, I got COVID and couldn't go.
Oh no, so the story ends there?
Not quite. The man felt very bad about it. He said he would make it up to me.
Another good phrasal verb. To make it up to someone means to compensate for a mistake or a disappointment.
Exactly. Then, many months later, I get a phone call at 9 at night.
From him?
Yes, he said, "Hey, it's me, the guy from the boat." And then he said, "We should buy a boat together."
Wait, you had never met him in person?
We had never met in person.
She bought a boat with a man she never met. And I have to ask permission for a new toy. The logic is flawed.
So, what did you say?
I said, "Okay."
Unbelievable. So the first day you ever met was the day you went to buy a boat together?
It was the day we went to see the boat we bought. And we've been sailing it together ever since.
So this complete stranger is now your good friend? So Candy, this man is now your friend. And you sail together? Where do you sail?
We sail on a place called Lake Kiowee. It's a phenomenal freshwater lake.
What's so special about it?
The water is incredibly clear. You can see forever down there. But it has another very unique feature.
I'm intrigued. Please tell us.
It's right next to a nuclear power plant.
A nuclear what? That sounds spicy.
A power plant? How does that affect the lake?
They let the lake water flush over the reactors in order to cool them down.
So the water gets warm?
Exactly. In the dead of winter, the phrase for the coldest part of winter, the lake is kept 5 degrees warmer.
Warm water in winter? A giant bathtub? I fully support this idea.
And what does that do for the lake?
It allows the fish to keep spawning, which means to reproduce. So it's an incredible fishing location.
So you're a sailor and a fisher?
Not exactly. I don't use a fishing rod.
Then how do you fish?
I have a spear.
A spear?
She has a spear. A spear. I must be on my best behavior now.
Yes, I swim down there, and if I see a fish that I would like to eat, I try to catch it.
So you're a spearfisher. Candy, you are a constant source of surprise.
I try to be, but usually they get away.
So your fishing record is not very good?
Let's just say I'm very hungry all the time.
Finally, something we have in common. A state of constant hunger.
Okay, let me get this straight. Circus performer, salsa dancer, sailor, spearfisher. What else have you done?
Well, there is another story. This one is, as you say, when you're kind of crazy.
We are ready for it.
When I was 16 years old, my dad and I went to a Renaissance festival.
A Renaissance festival with knights and castles?
Exactly. In fact, my parents' first job was working at one after they got married.
Her family history gets more interesting.
So what happened at this festival?
We saw a group of people selling metal swords. They had made the swords themselves.
Handmade swords. That must be impressive.
They were selling them for $500. My dad said, "Isn't that pretty nice?"
And what did 16-year-old Candy say?
I said, No, it's not impressive. I could do that."
Oh, the confidence of youth. And what did your dad say?
He was skeptical. He said, "You really think so?"
So did you prove him wrong?
I tried. I went home and researched everything about metallurgy and smithing.
Of course she did research first. That is the Candy I know.
And then?
I went to a hardware store, bought equipment, and started making a sword.
Just like that, you built a forge?
I did, but in the middle of making it, the metal was molten hot with sparks flying.
This sounds dangerous.
It was. It fell on me and burned down my shoulder.
Oh no, are you okay?
I have a scar, but I was fine. However, that's when OSHA mom shut me down.
OSHA mom? What's that?
OSHA is the workplace safety agency in the US. My mother acted as the safety officer and shut the whole operation down.
Mothers are the ultimate safety inspectors.
So that was the end of it? The sword was never finished? So OSHA mom shut you down. Was that the end of your sword making career?
For many years, yes, that was the end. But there's a sweet part to this story.
Oh, please tell us.
You see, I had a good friend at the time, and I had promised to make him a sword.
But you couldn't finish it because of the accident.
Exactly. But recently, that same friend was getting married.
A story with a happy ending, perhaps.
While they were engaged, he told his girlfriend the funny little story about the unfinished sword.
And what was her reaction?
She said, she has to do it. She has to finish it.
Wow, that's amazing.
And she added a challenge. If I finished it, that would be what they used to cut the cake at their wedding.
No way, that is so cool.
Cutting cake with a sword. This is vastly superior to a small knife. I am taking notes for my birthday.
So the pressure was on. I had to finish what I started years ago.
Did you still have the old piece of metal?
I did. I searched through the attic for an hour, and I found it covered in dust.
So you fired up the forge again?
I did, and as an adult, I could finally work without my OSHA mom.
So you finished it?
Yes, I scraped it, polished it, and put a hilt on it.
A hilt? That's the handle of the sword, right?
Correct. The hilt is the handle. It was finally complete.
And the wedding?
I drove it down to Alabama for their wedding. We put it across the table. And after they were married, they cut the cake.
With the sword you made. That's incredible. What a beautiful wedding gift.
A story about promises, danger, and cake. It has everything.
It was a very special moment.
Did that experience stir up that creative spirit again? Have you made any more swords since then?
I have, actually. I've made a number of them.
Candy, this has been an amazing interview so far, but I know there's another skill you have.
And what is that?
You speak a number of languages, which I think is amazing.
I like to think so.
For many people, learning one is hard enough. Why did you start learning languages?
That is an interesting question. I never thought I would ever learn a language.
Really? Even you, the grammar expert?
Yes, I remember taking language classes in school and thinking, I'm never doing this again.
I think that about bath time. Yet, it always happens again.
So what changed your mind? What was the first language you learned?
Each language was always a surprise to me. The first one was Japanese.
So your first language after English was Japanese. That's a very challenging language to start with. What was the reason?
It began with a specific purpose. When I was 17, I wanted to help a family.
A family in your city?
Yes, a Japanese family. The father had passed away, leaving behind a mother and 2 young daughters.
That's a very sad story.
It was. So I started to learn Japanese so I could go to their house and offer help.
With things like groceries or taking the kids to school.
Exactly. Their entire community was Japanese. So I was welcomed into their world. I spent 4 years with them.
Learning a language to help others, that is a noble reason.
So did you just learn from speaking with them?
That was part of it, but I also had a teacher, a Japanese pastor in his 70s.
And he taught you?
Every Monday night, and our only textbook was a Japanese Bible.
So you didn't learn typical beginner vocabulary?
Not at all. My vocabulary was quite odd. Everyone said I spoke like a poet or a psalmist.
So do you have an example?
Yes, once in a group of young people, we had to describe our first teacher.
Okay, simple enough.
Others said, my teacher was kind or funny. Then they asked me.
And what did you say?
I said my teacher was deeply merciful and abounding in grace.
That's hilarious. So you use biblical words.
My teacher is also merciful. She rarely assigns homework about cats.
It was a very unusual way to learn a language.
So after Japanese, what came next?
After that, I learned Spanish and French, using a much more conventional method.
What was your method for those languages?
I used note cards and wrote things down. And I watched a lot of YouTube. Listening to Disney movie songs is very helpful.
Disney songs? I can learn Who Let the Dogs Out in every language.
That's a great practical tip for our listeners. So, what has language learning done for you personally?
It has impacted me in many ways because I love making connections with people.
And language is a bridge for that connection.
Exactly. It's a way to show someone, hey, before I even met you, I was intentional about communicating with you.
It shows you care.
Yes, especially as a native English speaker. We don't have to learn other languages. So when you do, people are often surprised.
Their jaw drops, you might say.
Exactly. The best part is saying, I hoped one day I would meet someone like you.
I was thinking about you before I knew you. That is a very powerful thought.
Candy, this has been truly fascinating. From the circus to making swords to languages. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me, Ed. It's been a real pleasure.
My insight for today is simple. It seems my grammar teacher is also a superhero. And I should definitely ask for a sword.
A wise thought, Eddy. And for all of you listening, we hope you enjoyed this special conversation.
Please hit like if you enjoyed our talk and subscribe for more slow English.
And in the comments, tell us something surprising or adventurous about yourself.
We would love to read your stories. Until next time, keep practicing.